ఈరోజు మనం పతంజలి యోగ సూత్రాల గురించి తెలుసుకున్నాం. పతంజలి మహర్షి మన వెనకాలలో ఉన్నారు. వారు యోగ దర్శనం అనేటువంటి ఈ పతంజలి యోగ సూత్రాలని కొన్ని వేల సంవత్సరాల కిందట రచించడం జరిగింది. Patanjali is the founder of the Yoga Darshana. He wrote the Yoga Sutras, summarizing the entire knowledge on yoga practice and theory before him. The Yoga Darshana is based upon Sankhya Darshana. He has based his entire philosophical system on Sankhya, but he has produced the Yoga Sutras as the summary of the entire practice of yoga. Communities of practices of yoga were there for thousands of years before Patanjali, right from the Vedic period or the Indus Valley, Saraswati Valley civilization period. He made a masterful contribution. He is known as the Sutrakara of the Yoga Darshana, by presenting methodologically deeply rooted in the culture and tradition of India. Of all the numerous schools of yogic philosophy that existed at the same time, Patanjali's was the most authoritative one. Patanjali gave the yoga tradition its classical format. Therefore, this is called classical yoga, and hence its school is well known as Yoga Darshana or classical yoga. It was Patanjali who coordinated yogic thought and explained to his students in the form of shorthand of few words called sutras or aphorisms. The literal meaning of the word sutra is a thread, and these sutras were combinations of different words which are highly potential in their meaning. Within 196 sutras, the entire science of yoga is delineated and condensed. The Yoga Sutras consist of 199 sutras in 4 chapters. The first chapter is called Samadhipada, ecstasy, consisting of 52 sutras or aphorisms. Sadhanapada is the second one, consisting of 55 aphorisms. And Vibhutipada, consisting of 56 aphorisms. Kaivalyapada is the fourth, liberation, consisting of 34 aphorisms. These are very advanced and the ultimate summary of the yoga system of philosophy as well as practice. So we'll start with the first chapter, Samadhipada. The first definition of yoga is given. Before that he says, Atha Yoga Anushasanam. Now we shall discipline the yoga. That means we will define yoga. And yoga's chittavritti nirodhaha, the restraint of modifications of the mental stuff, is yoga. Now, as we have seen earlier also in our discussions, the mind is the modifiable, flexible entity which will be continuously changing and therefore giving different changing perspectives. And controlling the mind is fundamental. Otherwise, mind will go helter-skelter. So, focusing the mind by controlling it is fundamental requirement for any intelligent activity like a study or a preparation for an examination or research or authoring a book or for any purpose. So, what are the various activities into which the mind can go into? Pramana viparyaya vikalpa nidra smrutayaha. Vrittaya panchadaya klishta pramana viparya vikalpa nidra smritayaha. The pramana, vikalpa, viparya, nidra, smriti. These are the 5 simple and complex chittavrittis. The 5-fold modifications are pramana, which is observable knowledge with proof. Viparya is misconception, and vikalpa is verbal delusion. And nidra is sleep, and smriti is memory. So the mind will go into all these different 5 categories, and he has defined each one of them. Abhav prachayalambana vritti nidra. Sleep is defined as a thoughtless condition of existence. Anubhuta Vishaya Sampramota Smritihi. Memory is defined as repeating the experience of the past. And Viparya is Vikalpa is misconception. And Viparya Mithya Jnana Matadruva Pratishtha. Like a silver in the mother of pearl chip, or water in the mirage. These are all Viparayas. And Pramana is given as Pratyaksha Anumana Agama Pramana. Pratyaksha Pramana is explained as observable phenomena. Whatever phenomena we observe, either through senses of eyes or ears, it is known as Pratyaksha, that is observable by sensory perception. And Anumana is inference on the observations done. And for those subjects which can neither be observed nor inferred, we have the Pramana of Shabda Pramana or Agama or Aptavakya, all are one and the same, which means referential or testimonial knowledge. That means for subjects like whether God exists or not, whether soul exists or not, what happens after death, neither you can observe nor you can infer. So all those subjects are covered under the testimonial or referential proof of knowledge, which is Shabda Pramana. And the Veda is supposed to be the Shabda Pramana, which will talk about subjects which are beyond the approach of senses and the mind. So by controlling the mind, Yoganga Anushthanad Asuddhikshaya Jnana Deeptihi Avivekakhyate. This is the Sadhana Pada. We have briefly covered the Samadhi Pada. Now we have gone to Sadhana Pada. But in the Samadhi Pada, he has given elaborate details of various types of Samadhi: Asamprajnat Samadhi, Samprajnat Samadhi, Savikalpa Samadhi, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Sabij Samadhi, and Nirbija Samadhi. And in Sadhana Pada, the third sutra or the 28th sutra says, Yoganganushthanad Ashuddhikshaya Jnanadipti Avivakakhyate. By performance of the practices of the Yogangas, which are 8, Yama Niyama Asana Pranayama Pratyahara Dharana Dhyana Samadhaya Ashtavangani, it is possible to purify the system. Ashuddhikshaya, because of purification, Jnanadiptihi, enlightenment will take place, knowledge will be drawn. Avivekakhyate, leading to discernment or discriminative discernment. Avivekakhyate. In the Vedanta Darshana, Vairagya and Viveka are the fundamental requirements. So Viveka is discrimination between what is correct and what is not correct. Vairagya is not having desires. In the Samadhipada itself, Abhyasa Vairagya Abhyam Tan Nirodhaha. The chitta can be controlled through Abhyasa practices, continuous practice, and Vairagya, which is detachment, giving up desires. The more desires you have, the more unhappiness you will have and more restlessness. Your mind will be wandering here and there, and you will be running from pillar to post to achieve those desires. So if you don't have any desire, you are happy, then you don't have any restlessness of the mind. Similarly, if you practice concentration, practice yoga, meditation, then your mind will be under your control. So practice makes perfect, and desirelessness gives you liberation. Yama Niyamasana Pranayama Pratyahara Dharana Dhyana Samadhayo Ashtavangani. This is also in Sadhana Pada 29th Sutra. Yama Niyama Asana Pranayama Pratyahara Dharana Dhyana Samadhi. Yama, the word Yama means control, like Samyama, Niyama. So control through 5 fundamental principles or values or ethical values or principles of morality or dharma. Satya, Ahimsa, Brahmacharya, Asteya, Aparigraha. 5 fundamental principles which are sustaining this universe. Truth, Satya, Ahimsa, non-harming others, and Asteya, non-stealing. And Brahmacharya is celibacy or chastity, dedication to your own spouse. And 5th is Aparigraha, which is non-covetance or non-accumulation of wealth or any objects. So if these 5 principles are not followed, there will be jungle law in this world, And that's why all the systems of law in all countries are created only to uphold these 5 principles. If you harm somebody or if you kill somebody, you will be punished. If you cheat or tell lies, you will be punished. If you steal, you will be punished. If you conduct adultery, that means instead of sleeping with your own spouse, if you go to somebody else's spouse, that will be adultery. That will be also punishable by crime, as a crime by law. And finally, accumulation, too much of accumulation of things. So these 5 principles are universal, sovereign, Mahavrata. Patanjali calls them Mahavratam. They are great swearing principles, and Sarvabhauma, universal. In all times, in all locations, with all people, these 5 are valid requirements. And you will see them in all religions. Buddhism and Jainism are based and born out of ahimsa, and even in Bible and Quran, these principles are mentioned. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, thou shalt not steal. These are some of the commandments in the Bible. So universally, even the atheists who don't believe in God will uphold the rule of law, the dharma, the ethics, the moral, ethical behavior. That is what is indicated by these 5 yamas. Then we have the 5 niyamas or observances, which are desirable but not essential. They are not compulsory, but they are desirable as progressive ways of life. Shaucha, purity, both physical level, mental level, spiritual level. Santosha, that is satisfaction, happiness. Shaucha, santosha, tapas, which is austerity. Tapas is defined as 3 types of austerity or self-control in the Bhagavad Gita: mental, oral and physical. Mentally it is manaprasada saumyatvam maunam atma vinigraha bhava samshuddhiretat manasam tapauchyate. Manaprasada, having peaceful state of mind; saumyatvam, being soft; maunam, being silent; atma vinigraha, and bhava samshuddhi, purity of thought, not indulging in bad thoughts. Ityedat manasam tapauchyate. Now coming to oral or speech based tapas: anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat, to speak truth but in a friendly manner and without causing any incitation or excitation or violence to others by your words, or hurting others by your words, and also not getting hurt by others' words. Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat swadhyayapanam chaiva. And swadhyaya, that is chanting the Vedas and studying, is all oral, speech-wise tapasya. And what is physical tapasya? Deva, Guru, Dvija, Prajna, Pujanam, Shaucham, Arjavam. Arjavam is honesty, integrity, and Pujanam, respecting and worshipping Devatas, Gurus, and scholars, and parents, and Brahmanas. So this is considered as tapasya. And Deva, Guru, Dvija, Prajna, Pujanam, Shaucham, Arjavam, purity and honesty. Shariram tapa uchyate. So this tapas is one of the 5 niyamas. Shaucha, Santosha, tapas. Swadhyaya is study, good study of scriptural lore instead of studying fiction and violent texts which will make you violent. Then last item in niyamas is Ishvara Pranidhana, which is surrender to the Ishvara. Whatever you have produced, whatever you have done, whatever you have achieved, it doesn't belong to you, it belongs to Ishvara. So you surrender to Ishvara. So sarvadharman parityajya mamekam saranam raja ahantva sarvapapebhyo mokshayishyami ma shucha. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna told, give up everything, surrender to me, I will take care of you. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janah paryupasate tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. He who has given up all other distractions and dedicatedly, concentratedly surrendered to me, I will take care of his welfare. The yogakshemam vahamyaham. So these are the yamaniyamas. Then the second is the asana, next, that is the third anga First anga is yama, second anga is niyama, third anga is asana. And there are hundreds of asanas, and out of which only 4 are static basic asanas: Padmasana, Vajrasana, Sukhasana, and Siddhasana. So we normally sit in Sukhasana while eating food. And we have seen Padmasana, most of the Devatas are in Padmasana. Shiva is also in Padmasana. Lakshmi is also in Padmasana. Buddha is also in Padmasana. And Vajrasana is also commonly used. It is used in namaz in Islam religion. And even we have shown in our yoga classes all these asanas. There are many other asanas which are meant for improving the health and blood circulation and fitness, but they are not essential for long deep meditation because they are dynamic asanas. Like for example, Mayurasana cannot be held more than 2 seconds or 3 seconds. Say Sirshasana, it will be maximum 2-3 minutes. Or Sarvangasana, it will be maximum 5 minutes. But if you want to sit for 2-3 hours without movement, like deep concentration, like Patanjali is sitting here, it is in Padmasana. He is in Padmasana, and you can also sit in Siddhasana, or like Pashupati seal in the Indus Valley civilization, or even in Vajrasana. So what are the various benefits or indications of success in asana? Tato dvandvena abhigataha. If you are successful in asana, you will not be disturbed by opposites like heat and cold, pain and pleasure, and praise and insult. Prayatna saidilyan samapatibhya. By lessening the natural tendency of restlessness and by meditating on infinite, posture can be mastered. Asana siddhi can be achieved by meditating on the Ishvara who is infinite, and by practice for a long time. The longer the practice, the better will be the perfection in all the asanas. And coming to pranayama, tasmin sati shvasa prashvasayo gati vichhedaha pranayama. We all know that we keep on breathing in and out, inhalation, exhalation, inhalation, exhalation. Uchvasa, Nishvasa, Puraka, Vechaka is continuous process. It happens 15 times per minute. It is happening non-stop. If it stops, you are dead. So it happens 21,600 times in a day. But if you can slow it, you can interfere it to the normal speed. Tasmin sati gati vichhedaha, shvasa prashvasayoh gati vichhedaha, pranayama. So if you take longer breaths, hold it for some time, and breathe out and be without breath, this is Bahya Kumaka, then you will be able to get special effects. With the pranayama success, you will be able to reach higher stages in yoga. That is dharanasu cha yogyata manasaha. What are the various types of pranayama? Bahyabhyantara stambhavritti deshakala sankhyabihi paridrishto dirgha sukshmaha. Long, short, external, internal, and various ratios. Bahyabhyantara stambhavritti deshakala sankhyabihi paridrishto dirgha sukshmaha. Tato kshiyate prakashavaranam. The obstructions to your personality, prakashavaranam, will be reduced, rather your aura will be improved, and dharana sucha yogyata manasaha. The mind will become fit for higher stages like dharana, dhyana and samadhi.